I'm here with Emmanuella Perez-Cassius. She's the State Associate Board Member of the U.S. Virgin Islands School Board of Education.
Yes.
In St. Croix, that's right.
I am a representative member of the St. Croix district. So the Virgin Islands is 3 islands.
Okay.
And we have the St. Croix district and we have the St. Thomas and St. John district. And I represent the St. Croix district.
Okay, well, thank you for coming.
When I got the opportunity, I was excited.
Well, let's get to it.
Let's get in it.
Tell us about when you realized, the time you realized that you needed team leadership in your district.
So like many places in the world, the Virgin Islands has issues in education around parental involvement, school-based size classrooms, the same technical things that's happening around, and we realize that some of the resources are starting to be strained farther and further and further,
right,
especially in supporting our younger students. So that's where we decided to start empowering our teens in a cultural leadership opportunity that develops skills to help develop literacy and arts, right? And so that's where we came up with it. We decided that how can we help meet the needs of these first and second graders in developing their literacy skills and the love of reading without stretching our already stretched resources of teachers?
Okay. Well, let's talk about the process.
Okay.
What programs do you have in place for the teens in your community to get that opportunity? What is the platform they use? How do you empower them through this process?
So we empower them through a program called Fire is Lit. It's called Fueling Youth Reading is Leaders in Training.
Okay.
And so we identify these teens through their guidance counselors, through after-school programs, through just seeing you in the street and seeing potential.
Okay.
And we train them. So we train them for about 3 weeks in the Orton-Gillingham approach, which is a foundation approach to reading development and giving sound. So it's not like we're developing them to teach comprehension, right? We're developing them to teach the basic skills of understanding sound and reading, and we use that Orton-Gillingham approach. And through that, we call it life hacks. Okay. So we give them these life hacks in literacy, and their job is to then in turn turn around and connect them. So we connect our mentors to our mentees, and then we let them fly high, my black butterflies.
Hey, I like
and
that.
And we collect the resources at the end. We're there as facilitators. You call in, we can help you. I'm struggling in this area. We give ideas, but most of the time it's team-led. And we found them that they're very much excited to want to be leaders, right? And have younger people look up to them in a sense that gives them ownership of what they're doing to help support other people in the community.
Okay. What type of character traits have you seen in your students by giving them this opportunity to be team leaders?
So I've seen all kind of character traits come out of this, and I think that's the diamond in the rough of this whole experience. So when we began, it was about supporting the younger members and giving older members a chance to be leaders. But what we're learning is that the older members inside of this have found out that maybe I'm not as convincing as I was, or maybe I don't have as much patience as I should.
Right.
The knowledge that I have at 15, I didn't have when I was 6. I've seen teens, and I'll give you an example. This one boy was reading a book to a younger student, and he said, "Oh, there's a board." And so he's trying to explain to the student what a board is, because in his teen mind, he knows what a board is, but in a first grader's mind, a board is a piece of wood. It's a blank sheet, and he couldn't get it for anything, and he was so frustrated by this. But it helped him to realize at that moment, oh wow, I'm not as smart. And he's honor student, top of his class type of student, So in his mind, he thinks everybody should know this. But getting an opportunity to reverse a little bit, brought extreme confidence out in him, but also empathy towards other people. And so for us and for me, I was like, we didn't even know this was going to happen, and this is just 5 years. So we're starting to develop and expound more on that, right? And give more opportunity to them to maybe look at other areas that they can help support mentorship with, and give more spaces to these type of students.
What direction do you see this going? You said that you've been doing this for 5 years now.
Yes.
Program. Where's the future of all of this?
So we have now developed into a hybrid program.
Okay.
Right? And so now we're working with students from other states along with the Virgin Islands.
Nice.
And we're not only building the literacy aspect, but now we're building teen networking aspect. And where our hope is to eventually have teens across the country that have participated in this type of program, but have also built alliance and relationship with each other. So as they go off into the world, kind of like that sorority fraternity feeling.
Yeah,
So it's like, hey, I'm a Fire and Slit member, right? Like I'm from the BI, I'm from Colorado. Right?
Yes.
And that's our hope. Our hope, like I said, we began with one objective of helping our struggling readers to start to get out of there and get some confidence. But we've seen so much happen with our teen leaders that we're just flying on that motion. So we're still giving support to our younger students, but we have definitely started to focus more on that 15 to 19-year-old, because something happens in that time frame in their life that if they receive enough positive experiences, enough opportunity to show their abilities in leadership, that they soar. And then that camaraderie that develops between the different teams. They realize, because we did it last year with Denver, Colorado, and the Virgin Islands meeting together, and they're still friends, right? Like when these teams got together in person, and we did it online throughout the year, and then they got together in person. And when they got together in person, you would think these people were in kindergarten all the way through school together, right? Like, but they recognize like, oh, Denver has some of the same concerns that we have. And some of the same social justice issues that we're having are still prevalent all over. And so we're hoping to continue to build on that notion and see how far we can go with it.
You paint such a beautiful picture of all of this.
Thank you. It's such a beautiful experience.
I just love the energy here.
Thank you.
So, have you gotten any comments from the students that have gone through your program? Like, what is the most rewarding comment that you've gotten?
That we've gotten? Let me think. So I'm going to say my most rewarding comment that I got came from a young man who was a struggling learner himself. He wasn't one of our all-star teens. You know, he was one of those teens that was just barely making it through. But he said, Miss Bella, that's what they call me, Miss Bella. He said, Miss Bella, I really realized I go to a children. Right? Like, this is what he said. He's like, I really go to, and I'm talking in my local dialect, I'm good with children. And I think I want to do something with children going forward. And I was like, well, you want to teach? He was like, no, I don't want to teach. But I realized children like me and I like them. And so for me, I was like, well, at least you have a purpose, right? Because like I told you, up until we met him, and we worked with him, he was always the person in the back, always a closet with the kind of attitude. But when he was finished, he realized, oh, I have something special, and children recognize it, right? Like, so maybe I don't shine for adults, but he was like the top teen. When the kids came in, it was like, oh, where is I want to see. Because he'll get down to that level. He'll play balls with them. He'll hold them in headlocks when they pass. But he'll also rub their head and say, you got it. You know, I didn't know he had that skill because he was a self-doubting student himself.
Sounds like a real humbling experience for him. Like, very humbling, but also encouraging.
Right?
Yes. So, I love your energy as you talk about this. What has been the response from the parents of the children or the students that go through your program, and what has been the community's response to this program?
So for the parents, especially the parents of the first and second graders who are getting this experience, says things like, oh, he's starting to like reading, right? Or, oh, at least I could get him to pick up a book now, right? Because they don't feel that pressure that they get from adults. I've heard a parent, because like I said, we're hybrid now. And she said, I sit back and I watch my son engage with the teen. And it's a whole different person, because when I'm trying to get him to read, he's so nervous, he's so afraid, he just doesn't open up. And so that for me was like, okay, that parent feels satisfied with a young person teaching their child. Initially, we didn't necessarily get that, right? Initially, there was like, how can a teen teach reading? And what is this Orton Gillingham approach? That's too technical for them. But it wasn't. And so that was one of the greatest experience give backs that the parent was able to help me to understand. One, that pressure was off from that first and second grader who was learning how to develop their skills. And it was a teen that was able to do that. So sometimes as adults, it might be a little too intimidating for those younger readers, right? So we get that out of them. And then, what was the second question you asked me? You asked me the second part.
Your community's response.
Yes. So my community was, I've got to say, the Virgin Islands is one of those communities that anything to solve a problem, we're happy to go with, right? Like, oh, this is going to help this. So that we targeted one school when we got started, and this is the Claudia Marco School, which is on the Frederickstead area of the island. But it's a school that was having more concern with their literacy building and supporting. So they were more than open to have it, but they weren't sure how it was going to get done with teenagers. So they were a little skeptic on the teaching children, I don't know. But after they became more open when they saw how relaxed children are with other teens, how serious these teens take their peer mentorship position, and giving people a little bit of authority somehow makes you feel like you're official, you know? And so they started to come around, and now, like I said, 5 years over, we don't even have to ask. The school is like, can we add 2 classes? Can we give you all 3 first grade classes inside of this school? Can we expand to other schools? So we're starting to see that whole idea grow, and the whole concept of giving authority to children with 2 children is starting to feel a lot more better in our community. And that's not something that we do usually in the Virgin Islands. Usually it's like, know your role. You're a kid, right? And kids are in this lane and adults are in this lane, but they're starting to see how we're addressing a lot of these challenges and supporting each other by giving a little more space for our younger people to come in.
Well, Miss Bella.
Yes. Now that we're official.
Yes. Can you please tell our listeners where they can find you or contact you to get more information about your program?
So Fire is Lit is online. You can visit our website, fireislit.com, or you can email me at ladyleaders, LADYLEDERS, @gmail.com, and send us any type of information. You can also text me at 340-277-3220, and we will respond to you eagerly and excitedly. We are always looking for community partners. We are always looking for teens, and we're no longer restricted to one region. So feel free, call us and be a part of our Life Hacks series. Be a part of Life Hacks 2022.
Right. I am Alexis Flowers with issueseneducation.net. Thank you for listening.